Drewy, tough loss, obviously, you know, in terms of where you sit in the playoff race. Kind of lost it really in that first period, that first sort of period and a half where they just jumped you and seemed like they were hitting everything from the perimeter. Great fight back, but just couldn't get enough stops in the end.
Yeah, I think that they got off to an outstanding start. They were very playing desperate basketball as we were trying to, and unfortunately we were stymied by some very good shooting, and you give them a lot of credit. They were knocking down shots, some tough shots, but some of them came from a few breakdowns on our behalf, and perhaps strategically we might have made a bit of a mistake with what we were trying to do early on, particularly how we were guarding the post. We felt like they had an advantage down there, and we were trying a few things that was unsuccessful, whether that's the execution or a poor strategy. We'll go back, have a look at the tape, and make our judgments from there. But certainly we weren't able to get it done. And I think that it was a commendable effort, the way in which we were able to work our way back into the game, particularly at no stage did I feel like we were getting great productivity from our offense. We got back into the game through some transition, a few steals, made our way to the free throw line, and got some stops, more so than what we're doing as far as our half-court stuff. Some of our half-court stuff was okay, but by and large, they were able to push us out of a lot of our stuff. We weren't able to get easier scoring options through our system, and as such, they had an advantage and were able to exploit it. So I was proud of our guys, the way, you get 19 points down, you get it back to 6, and I think we got it back to 2 in that third, and you're thinking, well, if we could just make some baskets. But we got some stops early on in that third, and a chance where we could have pushed it out and maybe got a lead, but we couldn't score. We weren't able to convert down the other end of the floor, and eventually they were, despite some really good defensive efforts. And I told the boys after the game I was very proud of Jason Kadee, the work he did on Chris Golding in the second half. Held him to 2 points in the half or something of that order. And you could see, he was battling. And Kevin in that first half, and we're thinking, well, Kev's done a very good job on Golding in the past, and there was a debate about, well, do we change? And I didn't want to rob Peter to pay Paul, because Kevin was doing a superb job on Casper Ware early on. And so I was happy and proud of Jason, what he was able to do on the defensive end. But unfortunately, Joe just too good. And David Anderson, a lot of rumour and speculation about what David Anderson was getting paid this season. Whatever he was getting paid, it was worth it tonight. I mean, he put on a show, hit 4 of 4 from the three-point line, and the way in which that he took advantage of us down low, full credit to him, because he's missed a lot of basketball, and at the start of the fourth, he gave him an advantage that was hard for us to peg back.
One of the other issues that you've talked about pretty consistently this season is rebounding, and they really got you in the offensive glass, particularly Josh Boone. I mean, that had to be a huge key in the ball.
Well, he's a great rebounder. He's been throughout his career a very, very good rebounder. I thought Alex Marriage battled gamely, but I think some of his rebounds came from strategically what we were trying to do and how we were helping out coming off him, and he took advantage of it. So I think that throughout his career he made it to the NBA on the basis of what he is as a rebounder. He's a very world-class rebounder, and he did that tonight when it needed. He was very highly productive on the glass, and it was to their advantage. But I thought Alex was a warrior on the boards tonight as well. I don't know what Alex ended up with. I was just trying to have a quick look, and Alex ended up with 12 boards himself. So I thought it was commendable for Alex the way he battled as well.
Kevin, what are your thoughts from a player's perspective on the game tonight?
Well, I think early on initially, obviously we discussed you dig yourself a big hole, and there were some breakdowns there, but it's tough as well when you're missing shots as a team, and you can draw up the best plays in the world, but if the ball doesn't go in, it's difficult. But by no means is our season over. We have a tough game in Perth, and either way, we're going to finish the season strong here, the regular season, and hopefully continue.
The talk's going to be, obviously, that you've never won in Perth Arena, and every game the team's lost by double figures. So it's as big a challenge, really, as this team's faced all season. I mean, how confident are you that these guys, after a tough loss, are going to kind of rise to that challenge?
Very few teams have got a good record in Perth. They're a team that's made the playoffs the last 30 years, and you do that on the basis of having a very strong home record. This season's been a little different, though. There's a lot of variables being thrown up, a lot of surprise results. Who would have thought after what happened in New Zealand last week they'd go over and beat Adelaide in Adelaide? There's so many twists and turns to this season. It's one of those ones where I don't feel intimidated about going over there. It's about if we can play our best basketball and we can get everyone on the same page, working together, then I think that we've shown throughout the course of the season that we can put together a result that's good enough to win over there. It's tough because they're fighting for their playoff lives as well, and that game is like it was here for us. You saw Melbourne United; they've come into a pretty unbelievable environment here. Very proud of the staff and what this group's been able to get over 11,000 people here on the basis of what the Sydney Kings have been able to deliver over the past 5 or 6 years. It was humbling, and it makes it even more disappointing when we're unable to provide a result that they deserve. The way in which they've come out and supported us is just it's heartwarming, and hopefully it'll provide us with a foundation for which we can build on. But it's going to be tough over there because their fans are right into it. They create an incredible environment to play on. It's fun playing. It's fun, but it's a challenge. Kevin knows all about it because he's been on both sides of the fences when it comes to playing in Perth. But that's the cards we've been dealt. That's the situation we have, and we got to try and stay positive and go over there and give ourselves the absolute very best chance. If we win, we have a chance. There's no guarantee. If we win, we have a chance to play in the playoffs. If we lose, then we don't have a chance. So, and even if we win, the way other results can go, it may not necessarily get there. So, but we've got to give ourselves a chance and to play as hard as we possibly can, and hopefully we can get the result and look further into the playoffs.
And just finishing on a positive note, Brad Newley's return. It's his first 7 field goals. Looked as spry as he ever has, and was in attack mode. I mean, your thoughts on his game, and also the second part of that. Did you have him on a minutes restriction initially? Because it seemed like you were sort of rotating him in and out a little bit. Yeah,
there was some suggestions made by our medical staff on what was appropriate, but as I told them that this is all or nothing right now, we're going to throw it out there. But he actually got fatigued. He asked to come out of the game 2 or 3 times because he'd run himself to exhaustion, and it was difficult because it was difficult for Brad, but I think he did a commendable job, particularly in the first half, the way in which he was able to attack the rim. That's been his strength throughout the course of the season. And we gave him a tough assignment first up, trying to chase around Chris Golding. It was tough. But Brad, the thing about it is it wasn't just what Brad, when you don't have a guy for 4 or 5 games, you play players in different roles, and now their role changes when he comes back. So there was that adjustment period. That could be some sort of explanation for the performances of our team, but I'd much rather rolling the dice with Brad and the way he's playing, because he statistically he put together a good game, provided some offense for us when we were struggling to find some offense, and hopefully he's better for the run, and he's going to be better again in Perth next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.